Holliday homer caps huge comeback for Yankees. New York. Matt Holliday hit a 3-run homer in the 10th inning and the New York Yankees completed a stunning rally from an 8-run deficit, outslugging the Baltimore Orioles 14-11 on Friday night. In a game of home run derby, Starlin Castro tied it with a 2-run drive that capped a 3-run burst in the 9th off Brad Brach. And in the 10th, Holliday hit the 8th home run of the evening, 5 by the Yankees, with 1 out off Jason Aquino 1-1. Down 9-1 in the 6th, the Yankees pulled off their biggest comeback since overcoming a 9-0 gap to beat Boston 15-9 in 2012. On the first true spring-like day in New York, the ball was flying. Featured were all kinds of monster shots. Cleanup meant Jacoby Ellsbury and Mark Trumbo connected for grand slams, and Yankees fan favorite Aaron Judge homered twice. Manny Machado launched a 470-foot homer, the longest in the majors this year, and Wellington Castillo also homered for Baltimore. Aroldis Chapman 1-0 pitched the 10th as the Yankees won their 3rd straight and tied Baltimore at 14-7 for the AL East lead. Dodgers 5, Phillies 3. Japan's Quán Trà Sữa found his form during 7 solid innings to lead Los Angeles past Philadelphia. Maeda 2-2 entered with an 8.05 ERA and had failed to reach the 6th inning in any of his 4 previous starts. The second-year right-hander struck out a season-high 8 and limited Philadelphia to 5 hits, a walk and 2 runs as Los Angeles snapped the Phillies' 6-game winning streak. The Phillies pushed a run across in the 8th against 2 relievers, but Kenley Jansen struck out the side in the 9th for his 6th save. Jerome Eickhoff 0-2 gave up 9 hits and 5 runs. It was the first time Eickhoff had given up more than 3 runs in his last 13 starts. Red Sox 5, Cubs 4, Andrew Benintendi hit the solo homer off Jake Arrieta during a 5-run first inning as Boston held on to beat Chicago. Every Red Sox starter had at least 1 hit, and Hanley Ramirez, Mitch Moreland, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Christian Vazquez also drove in a run each. Left-hander Drew Pomeranz 2-1 got the win with 6 innings of 2-run ball, surrendering solo homers to Chris Ryan and Albert Almora Jr. in the early innings before settling in. He allowed 6 hits and 2 walks while striking out 7. Boston has won its last 9 interleague games at Fenway Park. Arrieta 3-1 logged his shortest start since August 28, 2014, lasting only 4 1/3 innings and giving up 10 hits and 3 walks with 5 strikeouts. Braves 10, Brewers 8. Freddie Freeman's 2-run home run snapped the tie in the 9th and Atlanta rallied from a 4-run deficit in the final 3 innings. Freeman hit his 8th homer off Brewers closer Neftali Feliz 0-3 who was summoned to pitch the 9th in a tight game. Adonis Garcia led off the inning with a double and Freeman hit a 1-1 pitch over the wall in center field. Jose Ramirez 1-1 pitched a perfect 8 and Jim Johnson worked the 9th for his 4th save in 6 chances. Atlanta trailed 8-4 after 6 innings but scored 6 runs in the final 3 innings against Milwaukee's bullpen. The Brewers' Matt Barnes, who had not allowed a run in 12 1/3 innings this season, gave up 3 runs in the 7th to spark the Atlanta comeback. The Braves scored another run in the 8th to tie the score. Rays 7, Blue Jays 4, Logan Morrison hit a 2-run homer. Evan Longoria and Corey Dickerson added solo shots and Tampa Bay connected 3 times in the 8th inning to beat struggling Toronto. Derek Norris added the solo homer in the 9th. He had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Kevin Pillar homered and reached base 5 times for the Blue Jays, who lost their 3rd straight. Toronto's 6-17 start is the worst in franchise history. Pillar's leadoff drive off Austin Pruitt 3-0 in the 7th gave the Blue Jays a 3-1 lead. Dickerson homered off Marcus Stroman in the 8th and Longoria's shot against Jason Greeley 1-3 tied the score, giving Toronto its big league high 8th blown save. Mariners 3, Indians 1. Ariel Miranda allowed 2 hits and pitched into the 6th inning while Robinson Cano and Ben Hamill homered as Seattle defeated Cleveland. Miranda 2-2 did not give up a hit until Jose Ramirez's 1-out homer in the 4th. The left-hander, making his first career appearance against the Indians, struck out 7 in 5 1/3 innings. Cano hit a 2-run homer in the 4th and Hamill added a solo shot in the 6th, a towering drive to right. 3 pitchers combined to strike out 14 against the defending AL champions. Edwin Diaz recorded the final 4 outs, 3 on strikeouts. for his fourth save. He struck out in a win in Encarnacion with a runner on to end the 8th and pitched a perfect ninth. Carlos Carrasco 2-2 gave up both home runs and struck out 7 in 8 innings. Astros 9, Athletics 4, Charlie Morton struck out a career-high 12 and George Springer singled home the tying run in his return from a leg injury as Houston handed Oakland its 5th straight loss. Chris Davis hit a 3-run homer in the first and a solo shot in the third, putting Oakland ahead 4-3 with his 9th home run this season. Springer, back from a strained left hamstring that forced him to miss 4 games, singled to tie the score in the 4th. Houston took a 6-4 lead in the 5th on Evan Gattis' RBI single and Alex Bregman's sacrifice fly. Carlos Beltran had reached on a throwing error by second baseman Jed Lowry, one of a season-high 3 errors by the A's that led to 3 unearned runs against J. Harold Cotton 2-3. Cardinals 7, Reds 5, Dexter Fowler and Jeff Yurko homered and Yadier Molina short-circuited a rally with a bases-loaded pickoff to lead Street Louis to its 9th win in 11 games. The Cardinals moved above the .500 mark for the first time since winning its season opener against the Chicago Cubs. The Reds have lost 8 of 9. Lance Lynn 3-1 allowed 6 hits and 1 run over 6 innings to record his 3rd straight win for Street Louis. He struck out 5 and walked 2. Fowler hit a 2-run homer off Tim Hadelman 0-1 in the 3rd inning to break a 1-1 tie. Yurko pushed the lead to a 4-1 with a solo blast in the 6th. Angels 6, Rangers 3. Albert Pujols hit a tie-breaking 3-run home run in the 8th inning as Los Angeles beat Texas. Mike Trout also homered for the Angels, who led 1-0 after Uriel Escobar went deep on the first pitch of the game. Pujols' 3rd homer of the season came on his first pitch from Jeremy Jeffress 0-2 who had already allowed a single to Cole Calhoun and walked Trout. D'Eli's Carroll 1-1 picked up the win after a striking out in a scoreless 7th inning. Jose Alvarez worked a perfect 9th, getting his first save in his 157th career game. Mets 7, Nationals 5, Josh Edgen relieved Mets closer Maurice Familia with the bases loaded in the 9th inning and got Bryce Harper to hit into a game-ending double play, stopping New York's 6-game losing streak. The Mets had lost 10 of 11 and put star slugger Yoenis Cespedes on the disabled list before the game with a strained hamstring. Travis d'Arnaud then homered twice and had 5 RBIs for the Mets. D'Arnaud hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd and a 3-run drive in the 4th off Max Scherzer 3-2 who lasted 6 innings. Jacob deGrom 1-1 struck out 12 in his 3rd consecutive double-digit strikeout game and the 13th of his career. White Sox 7, Tigers 3. Giovanni Soto broke open a tight game with a 2-run single in the 8th inning, helping Chicago beat Detroit. Anthony Swarza 2-0 pitched 2 scoreless innings for the White Sox, who won their 5th straight. Tigers reliever Alex Wilson 0-1 allowed 2 hits and 2 unearned runs in the 8th. Detroit third baseman Nick Castellanos committed 2 errors in the inning, and 3 in the game, leading to Soto's go-ahead hit. Pirates 12, Marlins 2. Francisco Cervelli drove in 3 runs and Pittsburgh scored 8 times in the 2nd inning. Jordy Mercer homered and had 2 RBIs, Josh Harrison had 3 hits and knocked in 2, and Andrew McCutchen also drove in a pair of runs for the Pirates, who snapped a 6-game losing streak to the Marlins. Pittsburgh set season highs in runs and hits by the 4th inning, finishing with 18 hits and all 8 starting position players recording at least 1 while Jose Osuna had 4 and Gift and Joe also had 3. Pirates starter Jameson Taillon 2-0 allowed 1 run and 5 hits in 5 innings, lowering his ERA to 2.08. Adam Conley 1-2 allowed 9 runs in 1 2/3 innings for Miami, which has lost 3 straight. Twins 6, Royals 4, Miguel Sano and Joe Mauer hit consecutive 2-run doubles in the 8th inning as Minnesota handed Kansas City its 8th straight loss. Sano also had a 2-run homer in the 4th. He has 8 hits in his last 11 at-bats. Sano's double high off the top of the left center fence with the bases loaded scored Eddie Rosario and Iron Buxton. 2 pitches later, Mauer doubled off Joe Cansaria 1-1 down the right field line to score Max Kepler and Sano. Kepler had reached on a fielding error on Royals rookie right fielder Jorge Bonifacio. Craig Breslow 1-0 retired the only batter he faced to pick up the win. Brandon Kintzler earned his 6th save in as many chances. Rockies 3, Diamondbacks 1. Trevor Story homered and rookie Kyle Freeland pitched 6 effective innings, helping Colorado move past Arizona into first place in the NL West. The Rockies 15-9 moved a half game ahead of the Diamondbacks 15-10 atop the division in the opener of the 3-game series. Colorado also ended a 3-game losing streak. Freeland 3-1 gave up a run and 6 hits with 2 walks. He struck out 2 and lowered his earned run average to 2.93. Chris Rusin, Adam Ottavino and Greg Holland combined for 3 scoreless innings, with Holland earning his 10th save. Arizona left-hander Robbie Ray 2-1 struck out 9 in 6 2/3 innings, but allowed 3 runs and 5 hits with 3 walks. Giants 4, Padres 3. Rookie Christian Arroyo homered and Brandon Belt had 3 hits including a double as San Francisco beat San Diego. Arroyo, playing in his 5th game since being called up on Monday, homered for the 2nd time in 3 games leading off the bottom of the 8th inning off Ryan Butcher 1-1. Joe Panik made a diving over-the-shoulder catch on Yadivis Solarte's pop-up in short center field for the first out in the top of the 9th as Mark Melancon pitched a scoreless inning for his 5th save. Derek Law 3-0 worked a scoreless 8th,